AOC went on MSNBC where she pointed out that Trump has basically at this point, no surprise to you, unchecked power, but regardless, he's still pretty weak personally. Take a look.
We can do things during the shutdown.
I think there's two things that are happening at once, and this is something that's very important for people to understand. One, there absolutely is an unprecedented abuse of power, destruction of norms, erosion of our government and our democracy in order to prop up an authoritarian style of governance. That is happening. However, they are weaker than they look. And it is important that we remember that, because what they rely on is the impression of power, the perception of inevitability, in us giving up in advance. At the end of the day, Donald Trump is at record levels of unpopularity in his tenure. The Republican House is at record levels of unpopularity. They are underwater across the board, and they know it. And that is causing them to double down in public, but it is backfiring.
Yeah, it's, I think, important to point that out. That's something that we had been talking about over the last couple of weeks. And it's easy, we do the reporting and then, you see Trump do some wild stuff, threaten to murder people in Portland or something. And then you forget, oh yeah, no, people have very much turned against this presidency on every topic, the economy, wildly inflation, but also things like crime and immigration. And it's important that she reminds people of that. A lot is happening. Doesn't mean that it's popular. And look, there is the chance that, this does turn out to be a trap or whatever. And somehow Donald Trump ends up looking responsible during this government shutdown. I don't think so. And in particular for the people who are pointing out that it's a trap, like Alyssa Farah Griffin on The View, who are like, he's gonna have, less checks on his power. Whatever. First of all, he never respected any of the ones that he did. Those actions he's taking are what are making him so deeply unpopular at a record pace. And so, I don't know, maybe he'll just speed up the process right now. But if we can quickly go to some of these polls available from or being provided by the New York Times, you see him really, really underwater. Like on some of these things, he's improved a little bit. Like looks like the economy, he's now only under by -9. But on some, managing the federal government, he's now more underwater. I can't imagine a months-long government shutdown is really gonna help his numbers in that. A lot of this stuff is sort of static. I mean, immigration, he's down a couple more points on it. But look, he needs to demonstrate power, authority. That's sort of the aura that he's always tried to give himself, even before he went into politics. He tries to pitch himself as a negotiator. He was unable to get a deal. And coming out of his attempt at a deal, he just posted those like deep fake videos. And for some MAGA trolls, that reassures them like, oh, he's joking again. But others wanted to believe that he could make a deal and he can't. Other people right now believe that he could run the federal government and he's demonstrating that he can't. And so again, I'm glad that AOC is one of the people out messaging about this. We need a multi-pronged thing in terms of that messaging. In any event, before we jump into our discussion of that, I wanna give you just a little bit more of a question that she got on that show about where she might potentially be able to be a bigger part of these sorts of narrative building going forward if she were to challenge Chuck Schumer. So take a look.
Let me ask you this. There are some people I have seen who have the following theory of why Senate Democrats have not cut a deal where they give 8 votes and move along. And that is that Chuck Schumer is worried about a primary challenge from you and is worried about the politics to his left flank. And so because of that worry about a primary challenge, he's gonna shut down the government. Ergo, it is AOC's fault that the government's shutting down, or that you're somehow the kind of fulcrum of this. And I wanna just ask you straight up, like, are you planning to primary challenge him? Do you think that's why he's doing this?
This is so not about me in this moment. This is about people being able to insure their children. And I will say, because I saw some senators speculating about this, and I saw some Republican members of Congress saying, oh, well, if we have this shutdown, it's because of AOC. Well, if that's the case, my office is open and you are free to walk in and negotiate with me directly.
By the way, she also pointed out on social media that yesterday, in the waning hours of a chance to stop the government from shutting down, the Democrats showed up. She was there. They were ready to do something. The Republicans didn't even show up. Again, they're implying that it's the Democrats' fault. They didn't even try to keep the government open. Now, I think that response she gave, Sharon, is the sort of thing you're supposed to say. It's responsible or whatever. That it's not about her. It's about ensuring your kids. But I think that his evaluation, Hayes right there, of why Chuck Schumer might be fighting a little bit more than he would have before, I think that that's a pretty accurate read. It seems like, I don't think that's insane to say that he's feeling that pressure. And so, I don't know, even before AOC's actually challenged him, she's perhaps done some good, getting him to at least pretend to have a backbone. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's a reasonable assessment. I mean, he's doing everything in his power except not taking more money from AIPAC to remain right where he is. But to be honest with you, it's not her fault. Blame Chuck Schumer if that's what you want to do, when it's really the Republicans' fault. They had to get home for supper, so they weren't about to stay in town. But I am tired of this narrative. She is a great young leader. She is a powerful speaker. She's wildly intelligent, and we need her. So it's time to take over the party. I want her to stop being, and I'm not going to say she's so respectful because she knows how to get after it. You've been to her rallies, but it's time. It is her time. You're not a king either, Chuck Schumer, and I'm tired of waiting on you to vacate. Get him out of there. Just get him out of there. Just because, or because of all the reasons of the past 30 years. He's got to go. Come on, AOC.
Yeah, I think that, look, if he had, blinked once again, that would be a great reason for her to primary him. He didn't. So she should primary him for all of the other reasons he's provided. And thank him for standing strong right now as you file the paperwork to challenge him, which you should totally do. Unless you're gonna run for president, and we can have that debate as we've been having. Anyway, before we end on this section, I just want to go to some of the other polling. This is about what Democrats think about their leadership in these crucial times. Take a look.
Their base thinks that their party leaders are weak. Look at this. Democrats on who has strong leaders. Look at this. 54% say neither party, 54% of Democrats say neither party has strong leaders. Among Republicans, 80% of their base thinks Republicans have strong leaders. Yet among Democrats, just 35% of Democrats say their party has strong leaders. When you add together this 54% with this 11%, we're talking about 2/3 of Democrats who say neither party or Republicans have stronger leaders, as compared to just 35% who say their own parties have strong leaders. As I said at the top, weak is how Democrats view their leaders in Washington.
Yeah, and I think that that's a pretty good read. It's amazing, by the way, that 11% of the Democrats are like the Republicans have strong leaders. I mean, I guess they seem kind of like unabashed as they submit to Donald Trump over and over again. I don't think you can logically have strong leaders when there's no leading going on. They're just doing whatever Donald Trump tells them to do. You'll notice the Epstein files have not been released yet. So I have an issue with that, but only like 1 in 3 Democrats actually think that the Democrats have strong leadership, and that you're always gonna have that like 30%. I don't know what shows they're watching, where they're getting the news that they think that the Democrats have strong leadership, or by the way, have had strong leadership in most of my lifetime. But in any event, it is very clear people want to see a change in leadership. It's gotta be somebody. And by the way, a lot of people are like, should AOC primary Schumer or should we still have Schumer? AOC might not primary Schumer. And you know what should happen in that case? Somebody else should primary Schumer. I don't know exactly who. I don't know, is Emma Vigeland available in the next couple of years or something? But somebody, there's gotta be some other good progressives in that area. We can't be left with Schumer for the rest of our lives.